Hello, everyone. You were listening to and perhaps watching Calling the Audible. I'm your host, Peeze, Della, Reeze. Mo Khan is being kept in a sweatshop and having to work for the first time in his life. He really doesn't know how to adapt.
It's true.
How's it going, Simon?
I'm not bad yourself.
Who are you?
I'm Simon. You just said it. Pay attention.
Who are you, though?
I'm the guy that screamed at you.
Eagle.
I am the producer who doesn't produce.
That's
I am,
very accurate.
I am Peeze. I feel like I'm speaking to 0 people.
It's actually 8 people.
Yes.
But they actually are at least listening. The 2 people in this room, however, oh my God.
My headphones is off.
Anyone who wants to come produce the show next season, you're hired. We don't even take your CV.
We actually do need producers, so
We need talent. We're so overworked. It's ridiculous.
To be fair, Terry did it for Eagle one time, and it looks very easy.
Yeah. You just press a button.
It was
It looks for
terrible.
Pokemons.
I remember the blue box that was over here. That was fun.
Yeah.
In middle of second intermission, I tune in and I'm like, why the fuck is there a blue box in front of Peeze?
It was holding my coffee.
No,
It
then you
holds
put
itself. It's called gravity.
yeah, then you put the microphone in.
Yeah. It was also my microphone stand. It's like a pedestal where the mic is inside the pedestal.
Okay, so what happened
Myself
this week?
on a pedestal.
Let's get the show on the road.
Simon.
Salut.
Finessers fighting flamingos. What
Yo,
happened?
yeah, big game, man. Finessers, basically winner makes the playoffs, loser is most likely out. Fighting Flamingos played a good
You
game.
say most likely as if the season's not over.
Well, the loser, there was a chance for them to make it in regardless.
So your thing, there's a chance.
There was a chance back then, but at the time of the game, there was a chance. Now that we see what happened,
There's no chance.
no chance. Finessers lost the game, didn't make playoffs. Great game, 26-19.
Like, I just don't understand finessers, man. Like,
I mean, it's
what we thought might happen because it happens sometimes with them.
no, it's simple. Let's feed Alexander Bakalani as much as we can so he can win, like awards and stuff. But let's not make playoffs because that's too much.
The worst is I've played with Alexander Bakalani. He never even asks for a ball.
He's just
He's
good.
He's the nicest. He's the quietest superstar in FPF.
But he's just good.
Yes, he's very good.
Like,
He's
he
always
gets-
open.
He's thrown to because he's good. But at the end of the day, it's the team isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, but it is what it is.
We're surprised fighting Flamingos with the surrounding core they had. Experienced Brad Evans, Brandon Kyler, Michael Kazaka, Troy Lenvey. Are you surprised they were struggling to make the playoffs?
A little bit. I thought Fighting Flamingos should have been a stronger contender this season. They lost to Sturdam in an absolute controversy game in the last game of the last game of the season. They made playoffs by beating Finessers, so that game didn't really matter. But yeah, I heard it got messy.
Mobamba, the team that has bored me all season.
Mobamba.
They
It's a
need
great
to
name,
beat
though.
player recognition.
Yeah, basically
I
just beat.
was thinking because before the show I misunderstood it as air conditioning, and so I was like, Mobamba beat. I'm like, not
Fresh
air
air.
conditioning, not air conditioning, not air conditioning. Player recognition.
Fresh air.
They actually lost. 26-12. I had to win this game to make the playoffs.
Yep, essentially Mobamba wins, makes playoffs, did not win. Didn't make playoffs.
They did need help along the way, though.
Yeah.
They needed other teams
Yeah,
to either lose or win,
but
and
you
it didn't
also-
go their way. So
like-
had they won, it wouldn't have changed anything in the grand scheme of things, but they obviously didn't help themselves.
But the key factor here was win and then something happens.
But-
Start by winning.
But so in a game where like Scott Laframaz only had he went 9 for 13. So
So yeah.
Also, why are the yardage so low in this game? Like,
and
they're-
only there's one touchdown. I don't understand.
Vangelit has -6
Why
yards.
did we bring it up?
Well, you mentioned it. I assumed you were at the game.
No.
All right.
That's not the reason why I brought it up. Brought it up because it mattered. No, this is clearly a glitch.
We also, if you're looking to apply as a scorekeeper, we're hiring because what the hell was that?
Admittedly,
No,
Nick Matamenos did have 4 sacks, so
Oh, I know what this
considering like look at the yardage that they gained. Jonio had 13, Vangelit had 11, Lacombe had 10, so you got 34 yards there. You get sacked 4 times, you lose 7 yards, 8 yards.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. There's 4 touchdowns. I don't see it. It's probably a glitch. Moving on.
You got them right running though.
I think the glitch is operator error. Honey Martin.
Yeah.
Beats legal cock.
Yeah, that's a big one, man. Honey Martin's a big one because
Oh, I thought you were making a joke about legal cock.
oh yeah, that's also true. So legal cook I find was it's probably the best team in the division. We talked about it last week. Honey Martin sort of wanted to prove us wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I could have said something about shoving, but I figured it was
Too
inaccurate.
much.
Yeah, it was too much. So
We'll make many penis puns when we're doing our recaps, by the way, or previews coming later in the game.
Yep.
You want to hear a hot take?
Mm-hmm.
Les Gros Coq, easiest schedule.
Hot takes without Mokan. Not the same.
How
Uh,
about Honey Martin? Where they're ranked?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Animar now the official first seed.
Nice.
The top seed at 5B.
Hot take? Honey Martin, also easy schedule.
Ooh.
Oh, so
Paper crowns.
So we're talking about first round.
You're just a
byes.
Burger King, bro.
Nice. Go get a Keem Oy Charles for you. He was in the commercials.
7 people understand that reference.
More than 7. Come on.
Okay, more than 7 have seen the commercial. Less than 7 get the reference.
Come on, it was there. No, I think that this is a big game for Ronnie Martin, winning 24-22. Got the first seed. It will matter down the stretch because you're going to play always the lowest seed instead of... And it also puts a lot of stock into you. Like, it was a big game for Ronnie Martin to win. And going into the playoffs, you got that momentum going for you.
We see in Les Gros Coq, first of all, they allow the game to slip away from them, but Victor Nolin actually started at quarterback, a Division 6D quarterback, replacing Dom Lefort. Was that sort of the difference in this game?
100%. Dom Lefort he's a good quarterback, but he's also a freak athlete. He's so fast, man.
Yeah.
And the whole Les Gros Coq's offense revolves around his speed and his ability to beat the rusher and buy time and then find somebody open somewhere at some point. So without him, the team sort of doesn't know what they're doing because we're not used to this. Like, it's their first season, and they're used to this guy scrambling for 17 hours. So at some point, if you have a guy that doesn't scramble, it takes you off your course.
Division 5A, any games of import?
No, the division was locked in already before I believe they were already.
Any seeding games that were important?
You want to talk about a game?
Do you?
No.
All right, playoffs.
let's move it. We got a lot to cover. Let's just
Division 5B playoffs.
So
This is what is the most fun to cover, to be honest with you. So we're just having
yes and no. Honestly, I find this to be a tough show because I hate predicting things, and the games a lot of times the games don't matter. Like we've seen 5A, where it was essentially like the last week of the season didn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
So can't report news and gotta do something I hate doing. So let's do it.
Let's
Bruins, number 1. Bruins take on A-Town.
They played week 4. Bruins won 33-13.
Oh, interesting. A-Town's a better team than the record shows. Bruins is your like how do you call it? Like not a heavy fighter, but like the one team that punches hard, right? Like the boxer that has like a good punch, but takes a lot
punch
of hit.
harder.
Yeah, punch harder.
Bruins next season change your team name to the Punch Harders.
I believe it's called Kick Puncher.
The Kick Puncher, yes. He has kicked with the power of punches.
Not a punch with the power of a kick.
No, he's Kick Puncher.
Bruins, actually, so Bruins is a very strong team, but it relies a lot on Gab Weisman to Zach Zorn connection.
To be fair, who's the guy on A-Town who can shut down Zach Zorn?
Who could shut down a Division 2 player?
Correct.
Nobody? Like,
All right, next game.
like what I'm saying is that
Given especially, okay, so like, they're a team that has had, 13 interceptions.
the problem is Zach Zorn is not about he's not like a high flashy receiver. His routes are good and his comebacks are.
Well, once he sets his body, you're not going through him to get the ball.
No, and
Like the ball belongs to him now.
he runs very good comeback routes. They're very difficult to cover, and if it works in Division 2, it's gonna work in Division 5. So there you go.
Fair.
Voila.
Who not named Gab Weisman or Zach Zorn for Bruins will have an impact on this game?
There's snapper. I forget his name. I will pull it up because you're no use to me whatsoever.
Eagle, your thoughts?
This isn't going to be close. Sorry, A-Town.
Nelson Pereira. He's gonna
Yeah.
have a good game.
Nelson, he's a bit of an older dude, but very good athlete. So I can see that happening. What's your pick?
Oh. Yeah.
Your pick.
Oh, Bruins.
I also picked Bruins. Number 2, the Process take on Black Knights. I've been a fan of the Process ever since they've joined FPF.
They played
super biased.
They played week 5. Process won 30-26.
Hey, that's not bad. It's a close game. So Black Knights, there's two possibilities here. Opportunity one, the good Black Knights show up. Their defensive guy talk to each other, and they're playing aggressive, and they're jumping routes, and they're communicating. And Stefan was actually doesn't just throw jump balls every second play.
That won't work.
And Black Knights put up nice points, and they use their size to their advantage, and they look like a very strong Division 5 team. Or Black Knights show up, Stefan is weirdly off, starts screaming at his teammates, throws balls into the curtains, forces jump balls to Ned Pierre consistently, and the process takes that away, and Black Knights score 12 points.
Hot take. Who had the hardest schedule in 5B? Black Knights. You know who had the second hardest?
Who?
The process.
Oh,
So no Burger Kings in this game. Real kings up in here.
Deal.
I have another interesting take on this. Andrew Langbert films all his games. So do you think he's going to be sitting down and scheming and plotting and watching over the entire game?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
and to an annoying level. A separate note: how many times do you think Andrew Langbert watches a game and then gets off to it? Like on a weekly basis.
On a weekly basis?
When he gets his game
Once.
film? Once?
More often than he'd like to admit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, to be fair, if it was once, it'd be more often than you like to admit. But honestly, man, on both sides of the ball, they're just so athletic. Jacob Boydman, I've always said, most underused talent in FPF, no matter what team he plays on. Same case here, but Dondre Borden, Noah Groper, Jonathan Perez, Ari Bazov, this is just a good group of athletes across the board.
Is.
And I don't think Black Knights have the athletes around.
I think the Black Knights do. The problem is, like I said, there's games where they just play flat. And if that's one of the games, Process is going to run all over them.
And how do you think the game will go?
I think it's going to happen. I think Black Knights are going to show up flat, and Process wins by 3 scores.
Eagle.
I agree. Process is going to win this one. I don't think by 3 scores. I think it's going to be a score or less.
I think it's a big game for Process.
Okay.
Again, but bias. So
Moving on to the next game.
Easy W taking on Le Speakeasy.
So French against French. The battle of the French.
I mean, you don't have to make it about, I guess.
They played
languages?
week 6.
Not even ethnicity, right? Well,
About
that's
languages?
all from France.
So they played
not
week
from
6. This is one of the teams that EGW lost to. Speakeasy won 32-26.
Speakeasy were.
Oh, I was there for that game.
Speakeasy are reputed in the past, or the team this team is based from,
Yeah.
is the team that was the losingest team in FPF history.
This is such a great... Well, it's a very small core of the Speakeasy, for instance.
Yeah. So the difference is this team's a lot better.
Yeah.
I saw them play twice this season, and there's athletes on this team.
Speakeasy is a good team. The only thing is, it's... everything needs to work for them to be successful. Right? They sort of that snowball effect every game they play.
Mhm.
So if they get going early, then things go their way, and then the defense shows up, and then the offense is able to score points, and then Vincent starts running all over the place. But then if the first drive doesn't go well, then they just fall into a hole and they disappear.
But just like the athletes on the team, like Khalil Obey, Elijah Blizzard, Laurent Philippe Saint-Onge, they're guys who can make plays.
Yes.
And given all that, Vincent Richard only threw 25 touchdowns.
Vincent Richard, he runs a lot. And he's fast. He's a fast quarterback. He runs a lot, and he's able to run a lot.
He's added 0 touchdowns on the ground, though.
The problem is he's also facing a very fast, athletic defense.
Yeah. Across the board.
Which is good against running quarterbacks because you won't be able to run so much.
EGW and Speakeasy had the exact same strength of schedule, except one team went 8-2 and the other went 5-4-1. That's a question mark for me.
We've seen in the playoffs for ECW that it becomes a roulette of who's going to have the big game.
Who's going to go off, yeah?
Who's going to go off?
Jeremy White. He's going to have at least a rushing touchdown.
That's the easy answer. Which receiver?
Oh, which receiver? Oh, you didn't say. You
We're
just said he's
betting.
going to go off.
We're betting. A pitcher for the finals.
We're putting them right away every week.
Who's going off for ECW?
That's good because
They need to keep winning for it to be every
we're going to
week.
need to be a lot of pitchers anyways.
ECW. Who's going off?
Give me Samuel Emilio Percha for this game. I don't think it's going to be Charles Olivier right away. Not yet. So give me Samuel.
Eagle? Give me ECW. I'm making my pick.
Warlock games. It's the Warlocks.
Gambling. Put your phone right up your ass and listen to the show instead.
In the butt.
We're betting a pitcher of beer. Who pays the first pitcher of beer?
To be fair, it's never
ECW
illegal.
pays it.
No. So, who's going off for ECW in this game? We've done this bet before because they have a bunch of guys.
Who are you taking?
So I'm gonna go with Etienne Laurent Gervais.
That's fair.
He emerged last season.
He's also been playing well, like the whole
10
season.
touchdowns.
Yeah. But also, ECW doesn't necessarily have like even Charlie V doesn't have those like monster numbers, right? Like they've been spreading the ball.
42 catches, 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, but it's not
One
that
of
far
every
off
6
from
catches
Etienne.
is a touchdown.
It's not that far off from Etienne. Yeah, but also it's a 2-yard hook that he
One
took
of
for
every
40 yards
4.
because he cheats.
I'm gonna go with Samuel Emilio Pelcha.
Can't do it. He already did that.
Félix Léger.
Pay attention to the show, please.
I have 80 things going on too.
Listen.
No, you don't.
It's 2019. I came up with this thing. During the St. Patrick's Day parade, I could no longer reason with people. So whenever they said something and I didn't have an answer, I would say, listen, it's 2019.
So this morning, speaking of this morning at work, my our controller came up to me. She's selling cookies for Girl Scout cookies for
Shouldn't she
daughters.
be selling controllers?
And she said it's for the Girl Guide cookies because it's not Girl Scouts, it's Girl Guides.
It's been Girl Guys for like
But-
20 years.
But I heard Girl Guy, like male
You
female.
thought it was like
So I was thinking, I get it's 2019,
They're
but what does it mean?
They're transformative cookies. They're both chocolate and vanilla. And you can't tell them to define
Girl
themselves
Guy,
as such.
what does that mean? Girl Guy.
Who's winning?
ECW.
ECW.
Will it be an ECW?
No.
Yes.
I don't think it will be, but ECW will win. Sturdam take on Tough Lungs. This is a matchup I'm looking forward to.
It's a rematch of what happened this past Sunday. Sturdam won 33-6. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that bad. Listen, I like Sturdam this season. They've been slow off the gates, to say the least. But their last few weeks, they've been really impressive. They got 2 back-to-back good wins. They beat Flying Flamingos, and now they beat Tough Lungs. Sturdam is a strong team that needs things to go right for them to be successful. Tough Lungs is in a very similar position. If Matthew Lerner is not able to connect with his brother on the patterns that he looks at, it looks ugly.
I think what's weird for Sturdam is they're feast or famine. They're either putting up a ton of points or putting up none. Tough Lungs is fairly consistent, but it's on the lower end.
The thing with Tough Lungs is Matthew Lerner, he throws a good ball. He's not a bad quarterback, but he doesn't. If the first read's not there, he doesn't reset his feet, and he sort of panics. So if Sturdam is able to take away what Tough Lungs is trying to do on their first reads, like the number one play, that's when Matthew Lerner really struggles, and I think that Sturdam is the team to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's fair. So who wins this game?
Sturdam.
I'm going to go Tough Lungs. I think it's hard to beat a team back-to-back.
It is. It's very hard to beat a team twice.
Because you come in thinking, oh, we already beat these guys. And the other guys are coming in saying, the hell with that, we're not losing again.
Oh, because you come in and saying these plays are going to work, but then the other team takes those away
They know,
because
right?
they know.
False Kings, Honey Martin take on player recognition. Can player recognition... Let's not do that. How will player recognition dethrone the False Kings?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't see it. I think
How will they do it?
but I don't believe in
It
it.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not
You
about
want me to
belief.
lie?
It's not religion, bro.
You want me to lie to these good people?
They played in week 8. Honey Martin won 26-19.
Yeah, see, close game. False
but-
Kings.
Like, have you seen?
Listen,
how-
but what happened is
okay,
you're building them up in your head, right? You're like, these guys is King Arthur. It's not. It's the stupid Burger King dude with the fake plastic face. Fake plastic face.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay,
Can you answer my question
I
first?
could, I could be a huge dick about this, but I won't. Tell,
It's not possible for you.
tell me on. On player recognition, who's gonna go off? I'll start with who's the quarterback for this team.
I was just going to say there's 7 people.
Who's their quarterback?
Listen, man. It's 2019.
Who- Who's their quarterback? Also, who's their receivers?
So
Who's gonna throw the ball to who?
It's a team concept.
Yes, who's gonna throw the ball to who? Answer my question. Any given Sunday? I think they're playing on Saturday, so it doesn't work. When are they playing? Monday. It doesn't work.
Look, we have
Also, how
There's
did you lose
three-
to Tuesday Night Lights on a Monday?
when Eagles playing as a receiver, you know, there's roster issues.
Hey, we went 7-3 with that scenario.
What?
With Eagle as a receiver.
He played one game as a receiver.
No, he was there every week because he had 6
Wide
guys.
bench.
Yes, sir.
Also, as it turns out, don't throw a first window slant eagle.
Over my head and in front of me.
It's all throws.
4-2.
I know, it was a mistake.
Okay, so player recognition.
So look,
Who's throwing to who?
Alex Lebras, Dawson Spooner, and Joshua Malik Senecal all have 20 plus catches.
Okay. Who's throwing the ball?
Joshua Malik Senecal for me is a guy who should be unguardable. He's just quick. He's has good cuts. He should be always open. As for who's throwing, can we also bet on this?
Who's throwing? Scott Leframboise. He's been playing well back-to-back weeks. I think it should be him. But what do I know?
I mean, he had the second best quarterback rating on the team.
Yeah, but the one with the best is not playoff eligible. So
yeah,
Nick is not playoff eligible. So
all right, fair. So now answer my question: how are they going to win a game?
I think the only chance player recognition has is that Honey Martin, like I mentioned before, actually did have an easy schedule, and so their record might be
False
inflated.
Kings.
What?
False Kings.
Yes.
So
I think there is a chance here. I don't think it's a big chance, but I think there is.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Lego Cuck, the second False Kings.
yes.
They're taking on Fighting Flamingos.
Yes.
I actually think it's a bad matchup for Lego Cuck.
I disagree. I don't think the
Because?
Fighting Flamingos as the right rusher to beat them.
They played in week 4. Le Gros Coq won 20-18.
Close game. Want to know why? False Kings.
No, I think that they go cut.
Double Burger King, bro. Double Burger King.
Honestly, I think that if you don't have the right rusher to beat them, he's going to run all over you. We have a game of the week at Le Gros Coq in like week 7 or 8 that he did exactly what he wanted with the defense. It's going to be a very similar scenario against Fighting Flamingos.
What if Fighting Flamingos take one of their, because they have a lot of good athletes on the team. What if they take, like, for example, a guy like Michael Kazaka out of coverage and put him in as a rusher?
He should rush because he's probably their better runner.
Because like Frankie Scalzo, no offense, like he's
not fast enough.
He's a good contained rusher, but he's not fast.
He's not fast enough. He's too quick. Down the floor is too quick.
Who wins?
Who wins? Oh, very easy. Like, go cut, man.
Eagle, who wins?
I'm going to go with Le Gros Coq, but I'm not convinced.
I'm gonna go Fighting Flamingos.
Oh, upset city.
Yeah, I believe in the Hawaiian shirt.
Nice. Next game.
I know.
Takeover, threat level
I have to open
midnight.
page, guy. Takeover threat level midnight because there's no script because of
They
Mokan.
played
Takeover
week
threat level
5.
midnight.
They played week 5. Takeover won 20-19.
How does any Division 5B team deal with willpower and Mesame?
Intimidation.
Okay.
You tell them they're not very good, and you make them understand it. Like you have to before the game, you have to like psych them.
So send them texts. Like
But starting now, you start sending willpower messages on Facebook. Bro, you suck. You're not very
throw a
good.
brick through his window. Don't do that.
No, don't taunt them. Don't say like you suck. Just be like, you're a very good receiver, but I'm also better than you.
So in their
You
previous
have to sort
matchup,
of like go easy on him because if you piss him off, he's gonna go off.
Willpower
So,
had 3 receptions for 44 yards and a touchdown. It was Vincent Benjamin who really carried this team 660-1. But Threat Level Midnight had their big guns, Girard and Gartin, carry them through this game with all the yardage and TDs. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, so you have to psych them out. It's the only way.
Who steps up for threat level midnight?
They'll need more than one guy. They'll need more because the problem with
Who are the guys that step up for threat level midnight?
I think you need Jonathan Lemire to just be smart with the ball because they'll win on possessions. Just don't give up possessions.
Alex Girard is fast enough to run against takeover. A guy like Maxime Lemire is also like he's good. The easy pick's Jitty, right? Like it's the one guy that could go off. It's the easy pick, but I find like a guy like Simon Richard could be the really fine route runner that finds the empty zones and frustrates takeover because they're looking at him and say, "This guy's not very good. Why is he beating us?" And he finishes with like 80 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's fair. Who wins?
Takeover.
Eeks.
I'm not convinced. I'm going to go with Threat Level Midnight, but I'm not convinced.
I'm going to take over. To me, the best receiving duo in the division.
1-2 punch, bro.
Sorry?
1-2 punch.
Absolutely. That's the amount of punches you want to have at all times.
More than the kick, really.
Well, it depends. Do you have kicks with the power of punching?
Kick puncher.
In which case, I go kick puncher all day long. Our final game for Division 5B is the U in La Brume.
They
We have terrible guests
just
here.
finished playing this
Just
past
now?
Saturday.
Oh, this past Saturday.
We have
So
terrible
the
guests
U
here.
won 33-24. So this is one of those back-to-backs, like literally. Like you play the team in the last week of the series, or the regular season, and then you play them first
Thanks
week of
for
the playoffs.
defining what back-to-back means. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
The U, La Brume's a good team.
I actually like them a lot.
They're underrated. We haven't talked about them a lot because Mokan doesn't like them, but
So
You know, it's
Mokan,
true.
He needs to stop breaking down teams based on how much he likes them or dislikes them as a scorekeeper.
yeah, there's a bunch
Like,
of things about it.
Oh, they have jerseys I can't read, therefore they suck. I hate their
Oh,
talent.
I had a very good story about that from yesterday. Mokan was scorekeeping a game, and the guy had his number in the front. So you know, like the way it works in the app is if you don't have a number, we still record your stats, but we hide them.
Mhm.
So their stats are still there, but you don't see it on the website. The guy in the last drive of the game, Mo realized the guy had his numbers in the front. So he's like, "Oh, I need to show his stats now." But all along, he knew exactly who he was and took his stats down.
Hashtag fire Mokan.
Oh yeah, done. He's done.
He's done here. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start the movement.
Yeah, should I fire Mokan?
Yeah. So Jimmy Janvier, great season. 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Yeah. Okay.
It's something I think that they're gonna score too much for the U to contend with. You agree with that statement?
I don't. I think the U has a better defense. I think Jimmy Janvier is going to be frustrated playing against a team like the U. I think we're going to I think this is a rare case of same scenario back to back.
I tend to underestimate the U. To be fair, I do that all the time.
You do that every season.
Every season. I never learned my lesson.
I like the U, man. I like the U this season. I think La Brume's a good team. But we're going to have a very similar scenario.
Eagle, if La Brume comes off to starts with the lead, can Evan Frank come from behind?
I think so. I've seen Evan Frank play. He has a little bit of a weird style, but he also has a lot of people on offense that can bail him out, right? Like Cal Pedvis, Joseph Kano.
Joe Cano. He's always Joe Cano to me.
Kano.
It sounds better.
It does.
Listen, Joe, we made your name better.
Joking
You're welcome.
I like Kano from Mortal Kombat, so we're gonna go with Kano.
Nerd! Finish him!
But yeah, I feel like he has weapons that can bail him out. If they're down, he can stretch the field. He can drive. It's possible. I mean, it depends on how much. If they go down by a score, fine. If they're down by 2 or 3 scores, then it turns into a very different game.
They won't. Because the U's good. It's not going to happen.
Picks.
The U.
The U.
All right. Let's move into 5A.
Le U.
I wish these things were in order, but, production.
Super Saiyans Brocasion.
Oh, way bad matchup for Brookhaven.
Yeah, so what can Brocation do to not be embarrassed?
Good rusher that forces Jordan Lard to stay in the pocket. Don't buy time. Super Saiyans, you have to, if you slow down a game, there's a chance that they go off rhythm. You need size, and you need a good rusher. Brocation doesn't have size. So
how do they guard Jared Gallant?
You don't. Just don't show up.
You don't
Hope for extra gravity?
you don't guard him. You send 2 rushers in that direction to sort of screen the quarterback, so you can't throw there.
Corner blitzes all day.
Just
All day.
lean him out of bounds on every route.
Dude, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
I coached him in FPF Junior, and I couldn't believe he was under 18. He's
Under 16.
monsterly shaped.
Under 16.
Under
FPF
16.
junior.
It's true, under 16 FPF Junior. Still, I couldn't believe he was under 18. So,
You should know that.
I was surprised actually when he asked me to buy beer for him. I was like,
But why?
Aren't you
Aren't you 22?
so we going Super Saiyans across the board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. La
Uh,
vocation.
brothers take on No Show. Will No Show make a show in this game?
Oh, no.
That was a
No
Mokan
Show's a
question.
mess, bro.
That
Mo
was
Show
my
is
best,
such a-
my best Mokan impersonation.
Mo Show yesterday showed up. They were down 12-0 because they didn't have enough guys because they no showed. Excuse me. It was
played
bad.
brothers,
and
by
they
the way.
they don't need.
What was
No-
the score in that game, Eagle?
45-12, and on top of that, No Show blew the cap by a shit ton.
Yeah,
So-
there's
So
Not
they
only
had
was it not-
nobody.
They cheated, and it still wasn't
Yeah,
close.
no, they grabbed guys that were at Ebaya who were willing to play because they had nobody. It was a shit show. And I honestly, looking at this team across the board, yes, there's talent. I just don't think that the right guys are going to show up for them to win a playoff game.
Look, just from a roster perspective, here's the people on No Show who are playoff eligible: Alexis Dubois, Chris Olsen, Dom Benevento, Eddie Lee, Kevin Loisel, I hope, Preston Harris, and Troy Green. That's it. That's your roster. who's gonna win this game for them?
One of those 7.
No.
Does the fact that Steve Sanders only thrown 2.75 touchdowns per game worry you at all?
No. Because again, look who he's throwing. Look who he's playing against. Who's gonna stop him? What defense are they gonna have?
No, it's the defense is good. Like they have guys that could play defense. Eddie Lee, Don Benevento, Chris Olsen. It's a good defense. Problem is their offense is so bad that they keep on giving the ball at the 10-yard line.
But like, can you foresee a scenario perhaps where they win just by like forcing a stat line where Steve Sanders has a touchdown, 3 interceptions?
No. Steve has been playing really well this season, man.
But he hasn't.
Every time the 4 games I saw,
He's throwing less than 3 touchdowns a game.
the 4 games I saw, he was
more than
efficient.
Okay.
It's not so much that he's putting up like 7 touchdown numbers, but every game he controls the pace. He doesn't have flashy numbers, but they're always leading. And
not only does he
slows
not
down
have
the
flashy
game.
numbers, he doesn't have good numbers is the issue.
But if you're up by 2 touchdowns, you don't need to keep scoring. Just slow pace the game. Don't give them the ball back.
That's fair.
Clock management, bro.
Your picks.
Give me brothers.
Brothers for me as well.
Brooders.
The dumbly named rolling with my homies taking on Buffalo Wild Wings. There's not a lot of good matchups in 5A so far. I'm not happy with any of these.
Buffalo Wild Wings, I think they're one of those weaker seeds that are going to get bounced early. Like it's a very tough matchup for them. Rolling with my homies is a strong team. Very
They
good.
did play week 7 though, and Mahomes won 31-25, so it's only a score.
They're real false kings.
Yeah, but I just
I'm just gonna keep saying that
Rolling with my
every
homies,
division.
they listen. They won't win a championship because every season they keep being a contender and losing the playoff for some reason. I just don't think it's going to be round 1.
Yeah, so, and Peeze, this is not the case of False Kings. Mahomes had the hardest schedule and still win 8-2. Buffalo Wild Wings had
Real
the
Kings.
second easiest schedule. So, yeah. True Kings.
Yeah,
So give me the homies.
One of them had the fortune of playing Nakatomi Survivors, and that was Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, and the thing is too, like, there's a roster consistency issue with Buffalo Wild Wings. You see, like, there's a ton of players on the team. The core of the roster is good. It just hopefully they can get their best players out of the game.
I think we
The two guys I can see making a difference is Guillaume Vezina and Alexis Gagnon back, but you don't think that they'll have like enough of an impact?
I don't think so. The problem with Laurent Mahomes, it's very good players. Like it's not just it's a strong team that puts up a lot of numbers. Is yes, Zachary Kivergy, like he's a very efficient quarterback.
He throws a slant to Nick Settle
as a great
every
arm.
time.
But the
Non-stop.
problem is, even their defense, it's star-studded.
Yeah.
So I don't see them losing.
Picks.
Mahomes.
Yes, sir.
Same.
Same Z's. Next game.
Next game is
Tents and Hammocks versus Les Voyous. They have
is
not
fun.
played this season.
This is fun.
It's fun. So tents
It's just raw athleticism against the annoying system of tents and hammocks.
yeah, but Brandon Aylward doesn't run it as good as his brother Danny. Danny is a crazy receiver.
Does Danny Aylward run it the best of that family tree?
I believe so. I think. Well, he also has better like physical traits. He's taller. He has a
Grows
better
better beard.
arm. He's faster. Right. So if he gets to the same level as he reads the same way as Joey does, he just has better tools around him. Like he has a better arm, faster, taller, whatever.
So soon to be Hall of Famer.
Most likely. I mean, Greendale Human Beings, to be honest, have like a crazy franchise. They've been winning so much. It's dumb.
They're a low division Alpha T's.
Yeah. Danny Aylward, I score kept their game yesterday, their last game of the season, and he's unstoppable. Like the Danny to Brandon connection is great, but the Brandon to Danny is also like ridiculous. And the team for Tents and Hammocks is pretty loaded. Like it's a very strong team. I don't see anybody stopping Alex Jotopuf and Danny Aylward on the same drive.
I think the question here is going to be, Les Voyous, they're a really athletic team. Like, they have a lot of speed. They have a lot of size. Are they going to figure out the Tents and Hammocks system before this game's over?
They need to. Les Voyous, what they do well is they jump routes and they're aggressive. That's exactly what you need to do against Tents and Hammocks. The problem is if you're too aggressive, they throw over your head. So I'm curious to see if Brandon Aylward's going to have like the composure required to play against a team like Les Voyous.
Do you think Vincent Legenier will be able to contain Brandon Aylward?
Yes, because I don't see Brandon running that much. Like he could, he just doesn't. And so I think he can. I think there could be a sack or two that takes him like off his game.
Picks.
That's an happens.
No, I'm going with the upset. Les Voyous.
Me too.
Okay.
Outlaws taking on Ravens. I feel like this might be the strongest underdog
trap
taking on
game.
one of the weaker.
Track
one
game
seeds.
for Outlaws.
Are they false kings? Are
Uh,
Outlaws false kings?
Outlaws are not false kings. Actually, but Ravens, actually, they had the exact same strength of schedule. But Outlaws finished 10-0, and
game's
Ravens
over,
finished
Outlaws
4-5-1. They also played week 1. Outlaws won 31-13.
Yeah. The Ravens, like you said, it's a good team. The problem is you look at it, it looks great. They just can't finish drives. Outlaws is the exact opposite. It doesn't look that great, but they're so efficient, it's dumb. I don't see Ravens being able to keep up with Outlaws.
But you don't think Ravens have a type of defense where they can trick Stephen Harpersad?
I think you've seen that kind of defense before. Like, the guy is a veteran now. Like,
The-
he's not a new FBF quarterback.
Oh, I understand. It just it's guys that all play Division 3, right?
Yeah.
That in a different.
Not together, and they're not necessarily also the stars on their Division 3 teams.
Fair.
Makes it so that Stephen Harpersad will know how to exploit that.
I would say every time we watch Harpersad or the Outlaws play, it's not that the other team is doing things to take away what he likes. It's just that they're not doing it. They're not doing their system well. They're just having bad games. They're having drops. The throws aren't coming out well. There's a miscommunication. There's frustration. That's how I see Outlaws potentially losing a game. I don't think this is going to be the one. But if there is a weakness to the Outlaws, I would say it's not matchups, but more just they show up and just drop an egg.
Give me Ravens.
Nah, give me
Ooh,
Outlaws,
no.
I think
man.
Ravens are they're just
Bias.
sucks for some reason, but I think they're a
Bias.
good team.
Bias.
I'm friends with guys on both teams.
You have no friends.
Trust the neck, Dana.
Yeah, give me Kevin.
Can't do
Kevin
it.
Kusai.
I'm never gonna pick for any team he plays on.
I picked for him on both these teams, so
I might have actually picked the other two. I don't remember.
What's more likely, you to pick a team with Kevin Kusai or you to pick a team with Armando Trotta?
Well, let's see. One guy has 2 career catches. The other guy wears a neck bandana. Gonna never pick Kevin Kusai. Neck bandana.
What if they're playing against each other and you can't tie?
I hope both of them suffer very slight injuries.
very slight.
Like I don't want anybody to get hurt, but like they both catch a cold. Like that'd be good. Like
And miss the game?
yeah, like they both get a flu and I don't have to talk to them.
Armando's gonna choke the game, but Kevin Kusai is gonna be there.
Yeah,
The guy's gonna have a gastro. He's gonna show up. It's like I can play. I just need a garbage can.
just need a garbage can. GLC take on Longhorns.
They have not played.
Fucking Kevin
Alright.
This is
Kusai.
going to be the first matchup.
Oh, fucking Kevin Kusai. I hate him so much.
GLC, we know the story. Kevin Lubin not being able to finish the season.
So they got a better player instead. Better fit than Ricardo Della.
Mm-hmm.
GLC has been better since. Their offense has been better since. Their defense not, but their offense is. And Heyman Luong is able to distribute the ball better this way. Mendy Calichon goes back to being what Mendy usually is. Ricardo De Rosier brings a different aspect to their offense. In a game like this, where GLC will not be able to, like, you know, when Longhorns wants to put up points, they will. John Moody's going to throw, 35, 40 points. GLC has the ability to put up 46, 47 and to go toe-to-toe with them and one-up them. This is what's going to happen. Amy Luong's going to have a monster game.
So you think that
They close to perfect QB rating.
really?
Yeah.
We saw recently, last week, Outlaws, a team with a smart, experienced quarterback who exploits zones well. Stephen Harpersad put up 41 points against GLC. You don't think that similarly John Moody can?
He will.
do the same?
John Moody's going to put up 40 points. GLC's going to put up 47. I'm not a GLC fan. I just think that Longhorns defense isn't good enough to stop this GLC offense.
Eagle, are Longhorns too slow?
Yes. That's it.
All right, your pick.
I mean, do we have to say more? They're old.
I mean, you
It's
can.
just-
They have one guy who's fast. Well, 2. With Patrick Jason.
Yeah.
Adam Rosen's fast.
Yes.
how many people?
That's what I was expecting. Some elaboration from Eagle.
How many people
But
on this
he-
roster would not
He's
be able to play
playing Pokeballs.
35 plus?
Like 2.
The 2 guys you mentioned. Adam Rosen and
is
Patrick
like-
Chazon.
12.
I've made my point.
Picks.
GLC.
GLC.
Longhorns.
Oh, yeah.
Upset City.
I wish Mokan was here. He would rip you off.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
He was never good at negotiating.
Number 3 Spartans. Again, Mo rips Spartans every week. They finish 3rd in the division.
I don't understand. because I also rip him.
He hates James Andrea, who's the nicest person
I know he's too nice
on the planet.
Every time I say bad stuff about Spartans, I feel bad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you should, and you're right to feel bad.
Yeah, they suck, but I mean, I'm sorry, James.
It's two of my favorite quarterbacks going head to head. Shane Feinberg got touched by Angeletti and James Andrea Spartans.
This is a
Very
rematch.
different. Sorry,
A rematch of Week 1 where Spartans beat them 7-6.
how many times does
And they scored on the last drive each,
Fuck
if I remember
me,
that
bro.
game.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
That's so. The problem is, I'm not even surprised. These two quarterbacks are so similar. They could be so good. They're just playing flat consistently. This game will be won with 20 points.
Do you think it has anything to do with, like, especially when it comes to James Andrea, just he's always looking for the deep strike, and like he knows he can count on his defense, so he'll take chances that he doesn't need to.
James Andrea is his own worst enemy. I find that he could be very good, but he also puts so much pressure on himself to succeed because I have this best roster. I have the best roster I've ever had. I have the best receivers I've ever had. The fastest guys. I need to make plays. And it works against him. If he would let his guys do plays for him, make it simpler, make it very efficient, let guys run with the ball afterwards, you will be more successful. Take pressure off of him. The problem is we tell him all the time, you have such a good defense, you shouldn't have any weight on your shoulders, but he still does.
What's amazing about this team is Daniel Hernandez 8 interceptions, Samuel Bassett 5 interceptions, Matthew Campbell 4 interceptions, and one of the best defenders on this team is a guy whose name I haven't mentioned yet, only 1 interception, Alex Noel. This team is just ball hawks across the board.
They're 7-3, and their quarterback doesn't have 1,200 yards passing.
Yeah. How do you
He's
how do you have less
He
than
doesn't
12
have,
years
he doesn't have
passing?
30 TDs.
He averages 130 yards a game, 28 for 13. Like, it's not good. Like, his ratio is 2 for 1, and he averages 120 yards a game, and they're 7-3.
Yeah.
Like, I rest my case. I don't know what else to say.
That said, on the other side of it, Andrew Knopp, will he create issues for
Sadly,
or
no.
James
Andrew
Andrew.
Knopp's strength is his size. Spartans are fast and tall. Like, their guys are.
but will he take away passing windows for James Andrea?
On defense, yes. On offense, it's more.
He
the
has
same.
one catch on offense. I was clearly talking about defense.
But it could be
Thanks for paying
defensive.
attention.
He's tall, bro.
Yes.
I've seen him on offense.
He is tall.
I've seen him play offense.
Literally, your analysis is he's tall. He won't contribute on offense, which he normally doesn't. He's tall.
Yes.
So full circle.
Amazing.
That's a tall sandwich right there. Who's your pick?
Give me. I don't know. Give me touched by an Angeletti.
You know, someone asked me recently why I'm so mean to you. And then I was like,
this right here,
get to know him.
this right here, this moment.
Spend some time with him. Eagle, what's your pick?
I'm going to go with touched by an Angeletti. Sorry, Spartans.
I'm gonna go Spartans. This is the only favorite I picked so far on this side of the bracket. I told you what happens is that we get so like overwhelmed by March Madness.
Gotta pick
In
the
this
upset.
season, we're just picking upsets.
Gotta find the upset.
Voodoo take on Palpatine. I find this an interesting
This
match.
will not be an upset.
They played week 2. Voodoo won 19-0. What's interesting in this one is Palpatine had Louis Béget on the roster for that game and was completely left off the score sheet.
Was this before
So
the
no
breakup,
number.
or this was the game that caused the breakup? Right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the breakup. Yep.
Yeah. What happened was
Drama.
Louis Vuitton just felt as though the love was gone,
Okay.
and he just said Marc Andre doesn't touch him the way they used to.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, all of those things are true.
That's not true. That was a lie. Right?
Honestly, Frank K is a very good quarterback.
Yes.
He's incredibly smart.
But the problem with Frank K is he needs things to go his way for him to be successful.
Correct.
Right? Like, there's a way to stop Frank K.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Palpatine, neither does they have the blueprint. And on top of that, they don't have the players to stop Voodoo.
How about Dark Vader? Dark Vader,
Dark.
as it says on his jersey. Marc-Antoine Desaulniers he's had great moments this season. He's also had moments of steaming hot trash full of turds.
Steaming hot trash full of turds.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, he's
three bad things.
He's got a high ceiling, but such a low. And I think this is one of those games that's going to frustrate him. Angelo Garofalo is a very good player. Bat Saint-Amand is a very good player. Kevin Marcel is a very fast rusher. Put all that together, and he's going to struggle, man. He's going to have one of those games he's going to be frustrated about. He's going to come back to us, talk about this game in a few weeks, and like the final say, I had a bad game.
Yeah.
He's going to get frustrated because this Voodoo defense is experienced, and they know what's going to happen. He's going to score early, and then he's going to make a lot of mistakes.
But can you see a scenario where, look, they're a zone-heavy team. His playbook,
Voodoo?
Yeah, Voodoo. His playbook is designed to stretch zones. Can you see a game where he's just in a groove and throws for 6 touchdowns?
Throws for 6 now. I see a game where Franke makes a lot of mistakes against the Palpatine defense, and Marc-André Zonier is able to win a game scoring 4 touchdowns and like 26 or 27 points total. Where he's efficient, he goes 4 touchdowns on 5 drives. Franke throws 2 picks and only 3 touchdowns. I could see that.
All right.
But
Picks.
I don't see a scenario where they score 40-40.
Picks.
I trust Voodoo. I don't trust Palpatine.
Bodo.
So, I gave Dark Vader, my strategy for what I think he should do to beat them.
Okay.
I think he'll execute. I'm gonna go Palpatine.
For the record, you didn't execute.
So let
And I
me
play against Voodoo.
so let me ask you this: if they win, is it because of you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm fully taking credit. What do you mean? This is the Simon Dagenais playbook.
There you
Take
go.
credit for other teams' success.
All the time. No, for other people, not teams.
And as for Louis Bégin,
Nobody ever gets your references.
you will. Give it a second.
What? You don't know the song?
No, but can you cue it up to the point that matters?
You need the whole thing.
I mean, Eagle, you could have produced a better song at moment. I
Yep.
like the idea, but you could have just brought it up 10 seconds further into the song.
I've been Peeze. I've been angry. You've been Simon.
My final thoughts are: is this show
I didn't
not
ask you. I don't care what you
Is
call
this
that.
show
Eagle. Thank you. Alex Hollock, thanks for joining us in the studio. We'll see you soon.
3 refs. Home team decides coin toss. Overtime. Check the rules. Have fun.
Thank you all for letting me be myself. Bye.
But like, final thoughts here. Is this show not going to be monetized because we had a song with copyright?
No, because it's 30 seconds or less.
Like your love life.